Welcome to my channel. This is another alla prima time-lapse video. This is of Frank Parker Jr. as Sam Grissom. His character appears in a couple of different film series, and what I'm doing here is just laying in the drawing and trying to get the angle right. When I got the initial reference photo for Frank, it was from a set, and he appeared to be leaning back. I was pretty sure he was sitting down, but there was nothing in the image to sort of give you that information. So I photoshopped in the back of a chair. It looks like the back of a captain's chair, so that I can have this angle of his head slightly leaning back, which I think is a really great angle to draw. You get to see the underside of the chin, the underside of the nose. There's some foreshortening as the head moves back in space. All those Loomis exercises coming in handy to try to get those angles right. And it was a winter storm going on while I was painting this, so I was actually moving very swiftly in trying to get coverage here. And it has a loose feel to it, and it's very similar to how I work with a live model where you have very limited time with the model. So it is not very refined. It's definitely a looser painting than I'm used to doing when working with a photographic reference, but because it, I think, sort of captured the likeness really well, I didn't want to go and do a lot of refining. I like to work with wet paint. Obviously, it's alla prima. And if I started to refine any area too much, it would be out of sync with the other areas that were left loose. So you really have to make a decision if you want to leave the painting loose or start to tighten it up. If you start to tighten it up in one spot, you really have to tighten it up everywhere in order to have consistency across the image. So I left it quite loose, but I do think it's got a pretty good likeness of Frank. Getting the perspective on the Star Trek ship emblem on his shirt was a little bit of a challenge. I didn't quite get it right, but the perspective, I think, is believable, which is really the key, because it's not really a painting of the shirt, it's a painting of Frank, but the shirt helps make the rest of it believable. You don't want that to be a distraction from the portrait. The background is sort of a semi-transparent purpley darkish color with it gets sort of lighter around some of the areas around the head, and that was mostly to kind of reflect the light that was in the image from the source, which was probably coming from some parts of the set that would have been difficult to kind of represent, and some parts that are coming from the shirt, which I think is a sort of greenish yellow orange color. Just trying to get that stuff reflected in the face was a lot of fun. This is the final image. I hope Frank likes it. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel and set your notifications. I can be found on the web at robertosuzuki.art, on Instagram at roberto_suzuki_art, and on Facebook at fb.com/robertosuzukiart.